Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Breed Middle School softball field, where the Lynn English Bulldogs are facing off against GBL rival, the Everett Crimson Tide. Thanks for tuning in to us. Both teams looking for their first W of the season, the rubber match, so to say, from last year. In the circle for the Bulldogs is going to be Johansson. First up to bat for the Crimson Tide is Osario Bonilla, playing in the catching position for Everett. Johansson gets the call, strike, and catches Osario Bonilla looking. High fly ball, that one's going to sail up and out of bounds. So 2-2 count. Call it a full count. Gets a piece of that one, foul, and just out of reach of the English catcher. And Gibson back behind the plate. Ball four. Osario Bonilla going to get on base with the walk. And a tough start for Johansson. Comerfield up next for the Crimson Tide. Wearing number 1, playing in the left field position. Johansson gets the call from Gibson, showing bunt, pulls away, high and away. And far enough, Gibson can't make the attempt for the pickoff at second. So Osario Bonilla gets to be a bit of a bandit here in the first. Johansson throws again. Comerfield showing bunt. And Everett playing the small ball game. Hoping to advance Osario Bonilla. And it looks like we might have Osario Bonilla come back to second. May have been ruled a foul. And no, it wasn't. Ball count. So Osario Bonilla able to steal on her way to third. So a heist on its way here early in the game. Ball four. 2 walks to start it off. Comerfield gonna waltz on down to first, as if she owns the place. English with a new coach this season. I wasn't able to grab their name. Coach Aldred from last year. Working her way into the athletic director position over at Lynn English, and they're certainly blessed to have her. Comerfield stealing second. So 3 stolen bases so far for the Crimson Tide. A wild pitch is going to force a play at home. And Gibson can't get it to Johansson in time. And Bonilla able to steal home. So steals 3 bases on the walk. Bonilla earns her first run of the day. That'll give Comerfield the go-ahead to waltz on over to third. And Dresser awaits the pitch from Johansson. Ball call. The pitch from Johansson, low and in the dirt, ball 4. And that's going to give Dresser the go-ahead to waltz on down. Romboli, the next one up. Foul ball. My first time parking over there. We were missing an XLR cable on our way into the St. Mary's game, which happened before this. Wild pitch from Johansson. Doesn't give Gibson an opportunity to throw for the pickoff at six at the second base position. Dresser waltzes on in there. Johansson throwing down the middle, but just a little high. Another forced play at the plate. And Gibson can't get there in time. So Comerfield steals home after stealing second and third. So 2 runs for the Crimson Tide. No RBIs just yet. Dresser now sitting at third after the steal at home. And Romboli with an opportunity to bat in the first RBI of the game. Romboli playing in the center field position. Caught swinging at the high stuff. And Johansson getting the love from the folks in the dugout. 2-2 count here for Romboli. Gets caught swinging for the first strikeout of the game. Johansson able to throw one down the middle to catch Romboli. So 1 out, 2 runs scored so far here in the top of the first. Ridlin next up to bat for the Crimson Tide, playing in the first base position. Wearing number 25. Catches a piece of that one. Up high enough to go over the backstop. The pitch just inside. And a 1-2 count for Ridlin. Strike 3, or strike 2. Catches are looking. Up and away. So a 2-2 count here for Ridlin. Down low, sorry, 3-2 count for Ridlin. So Ridlin will take the base. So 4th walk of the day for the Crimson Tide. Silva next up for the Crimson Tide. Foul ball. Caught a piece of that one. So that's going to send Ridlin back to first after the attempted steal. So 1-1 count. And Ridlin going to capitalize on an opportunity to take second there. Silva awaits the pitch from Johansson. A high fly ball. And is ruled fair. That's going to be enough to get 1 run home. Trying for the pickoff at second. Nothing there. Trying for the shot at home. And that'll give Romboli a run. I'm sorry, that'll give Dresser a run. As well as Ridlin. So what we thought might be foul turns into a stand-up triple and 2 RBIs for Silva. Rivera, the next batter up for the Crimson Tide. So 4 runs scored by the Crimson Tide early on in this one. Up and away. A wild pitch. It's going to give Silva the opportunity to bring that one home. So make it 5 runs on the day for Everett. Swinging at the high stuff. And still ended up underneath it. So 1-2 count, I believe. High stuff again. And Rivera says, let me see what you got that I can hit. So 2-2 count. Low and in the dirt. Full count here for Rivera. 1 out. The pitch from Johansson. Catches her swinging. Drop third strike. Gives Rivera an opportunity to head down to first. So second strikeout of the day for Johansson. Rivera caught swinging. Gibson loses the third strike, but has enough poise to adapt and throw down to first. Moran up next, up to bat for the Crimson Tide. Playing in the second base position for Everett. 2 outs here. In the top of the first, Johansson's pitch high and away. Great job by Gibson. Keep that one in play. Johansson gets the call from Gibson. Fouled away off the backstop. Nice cut by Moran. Johansson with the pitch up high. Pitch high and away. Full count for the second baseman out of Everett. Fourth ball is going to give her the opportunity to take the base, and she'll do so gladly. So another walk served up here early on in this matchup. Salvi up next. We're in number 5, playing in the DP spot today. First to Johansson's pitches to Salvi. Ball. Gets a piece of that one. 1-1 count. High stuff is going to give Moran the opportunity to take second, and she'll do so with ease. So another stolen base for the Crimson Tide, and the Crimson Tide on a heist. Thinking about going, might get caught in a rundown situation. Gibson reluctant to try to throw her out. So let's just try to get out of this inning and reassess on what we're doing here, ladies. Johansson with the pitch. Called ball 4. An attempt to try a drop third strike. Gives an opportunity for the pickoff. And the drop third strike turns into a double for Salvi. Cutler, the next one up to bat for the Crimson Tide. Johansson with the pitch. Two outs, 2 base runners on, 1 at second, 1 at third. And Everett cruising through the first round of the lineup. Short, choppy ground ball hit over to the shortstop out of Everett. Nice throw out at first for the final third out. Cutler going down with a ground out after 2 strikeouts served by Johansson, but a handful of walks, which led to Everett scoring their first 5 of the game. So as we head into the bottom of the second, Everett 5, Lynn English 0. We'll be back after this break. Welcome back. Bottom of the first. English with a 5-run deficit so far. Everett putting on a bit of a heist and stealing bases at will. First up to bat for the Bulldogs, Furlong playing on the left field position. Cutler pitching for the Crimson Tide. And fourth ball is going to give Furlong the go-ahead to walk. Johansson, the Lynn English pitcher, up next. Taking a bunt at it. That one stays fair. Forces the third baseman to come all the way up and try to throw down at first. And that's going to give Furlong the opportunity to try to get home. And she is able to do so. Johansson's still sitting pretty at second. So Johansson getting herself an RBI. And Furlong earning a run. So Erin Furlong doing what she do. Next up to bat for the Bulldogs is Barnable, wearing 13. Pitch from Gibson called strike. And a 1-2 count here for Burnable. Gets a piece of that one. And a short line drive over to Olivia Dresser. Results in the first out of the inning for the Bulldogs. So Burnable goes down swinging, but in a good way. Gibson, the catcher, up next. Looking at a 1-2 count so far. Make it 2-2. The high stuff fielded well by Asario Bonilla, catcher for Everett, and keeps that one in play to hold Johansson up at second. So 3 balls, no strikes, 1 out here 3-1 count for Gibson. Gibson takes a swing at it. Full count. The distraction of the strike gives Johansson the go-ahead to take third. And a dropped pitch. Gonna give Johansson the opportunity to take home. So Johansson gets a run after the RBI delivered to put Furlong in. And I don't know how you want to look at it, whether it was due to the error, but about my third season tracking softball here, so we're going to say what I know. And I'm sure Mr. Hoffman will give me a call and coach me up on what I need to be saying to keep things accurate and people out of the comments. So pinch runner coming in for the Bulldogs. Garcia will take over for Gibson after the walk. Sereno up next for the Bulldogs. And trying for second, able to get there with ease. Throwdown attempt a little wide. And Garcia pinch running for Gibson. Another shot straight to the shortstop, able to get the easy throw out at first. And that's enough to hold Garcia up at second after the steal. The pitch from Cutler, not exactly where she wants it, ball called. So Martinez up at bat for the Bulldogs, playing on the first base position. We're in number 1. 2 runs so far for the Bulldogs in this game. 5-2. Everett over English. Strike call. Catches Martinez with a solid cut. And Garcia steals first to try for the throwdown. No good. And Garcia will go on to steal third and home. Brings the deficit within 2 for English. Martinez with a 1-1 count. The delivery from Cutler. And a 2-1 count. I heard 3-1 from the ump. So strike 2. So it is a full count for Martinez. Takes a shot at that one. That's just enough to sneak past the second baseman out of Everett. So Martinez gets on first. Reyes, the right fielder, up next for the Bulldogs. So 2 outs, 1 on. English with 3 runs scored in the bottom of the first so far. Reyes takes a cut, fouled away into the dirt. Cutler throws it down the middle, but just a little low. And Osorio Bonilla getting closer to those pickoffs at second. So Martinez goes on to steal second after the stand-up single. Fouled away. Bless you, 2 retro. Thanks for tuning in to Lit Educational Television. We got Rebecca Retro De Leon up top. De La Cruz. And this kid, Jacob, he's going to be here too. The pitch, just enough to get the hit. Well stopped at third. And oh no. Looks like we got an injury from the third baseman out of Everett. So I'm not sure what had happened. I think she just got caught up in the dirt. And maybe a hamstring, but nursing that left knee. So Silva being evaluated by the training staff here. Hopefully she's going to be okay. Gives us an opportunity to say thanks to those who are tuning in. If you're a Comcast or Verizon subscriber, without you, we wouldn't be able to offer television media as part of the curriculum to the Lynn student body from middle school all the way to high school. Also enables us to employ the student body here at Lynn Classical so they can pad the stats on their resume and get a taste of what the production world is like. So if they want to pursue a career, they get some stuff to boast in regard to the responsibilities of what a camera operator, a play-by-play announcer, or even field reporter would do. If you're watching on our YouTube channel, please like, subscribe, smash that notification bell for all the up-to-date sports and events happening right here in the city of Lynn. I'm Sean Donahue, your announcer today for Lynn Educational Television, working alongside Retro De La Cruz and Jacob Kesselman, bringing you these smooth and steady shots. Both teams coming into this one with an 0-2 record early on in the 2026 season. Hoping that both teams are hoping that they can walk away with a victory and don't think that they will be allowed to both walk away with the victory. And maybe, actually, I'm doing this research right now, Everett 1-1. So English still looking for their first win. Last game for the Crimson Tide versus Everett. Revere. And next game for Everett's going to be versus Chelsea. So 1-1 record for the Crimson Tide so far in the early of the 2026 season. And a round of applause for Silva. So not Salvi, but Silva. However, there is a Salvi playing in the DP position, Morgan Salvi out of Everett. Wearing number 5, so we'll see her out there. So the injury, enough to slow things down. And so we got a new third baseman in for Everett. So wearing number 1. And we'll get your name on the player as the referees and coaches discuss the lineup. So Comerfield going to jump into the third base position, coming in from left field. And we'll see who we moved over into left. Tough to make out a number from the profile end of a player here, but I want to say number 3, Breen Jasmine, coming in to play over at left field. So that's who will substitute in for Comerfield. And we're just about back underway. Referee's got the adjustments inside of the lineup And that'll give us an opportunity to get back to work at the plate. So English still trying to get back into the winning column. And a fourth ball, gonna give the go-ahead on the walk. So Reyes gets walked on down. And Martinez goes on to take third with ease. Pimentel, the next batter up, trying for the throwdown at third, no good. And that is going to give Martinez the go-ahead to steal home as well as Reyes. So Reyes goes on to steal second, third, and home. And a failed rundown attempt. 2 more runs for the Bulldogs, and they've tied this one up. A lot of action for Pimentel in her first at-bat. Having to move out of the way. Pimentel's first at-bat of the day. High fly ball. That one right underneath the shortstop out of Everett for the third and final out of the inning. So good heads-up play by Everett. But at the end of 1 full inning, we got a scoring clinic happening here. English is in 5, as well as Everett, as we head into the top of the second. We'll be back after this break. Johansson with the high stuff, up and away. And Kesselman stepping in for the camera. Kesselman, let's be aware of that ND filter.
What is an ND filter?
So bottom left of your LCD screen, if you see a blinking ND and then a number, there's a switch on the left-hand side. We need to move up so we're not whitewashed. And it looks like Mikey's going to come over there and give you some tips on it.
You know where it is? No. First softball game. Oh, down here? Okay.
Pitch from Johansson, fouled away.
This thing down at ND2. Yeah, oh, on the camera?
And Johansson with the pitch.
What number is it showing? 2. It is on 2. Is it blinking on 2? Yeah, now it's not blinking. It was blinking. When it's blinking,
Johansson with the pitch, low and in the dirt. Ball 4.
Alright, thank you.
And Jacob, just be mindful of that pan lock. Sometimes we get a little bit of bounce in our camera. First softball game for the young man here. This is 2026 season. So no outs after the walk. And Everett's Comerfield able to get a base on the walk and steal second. 4 stolen bases. Make it 3. So 3-0 count here for Dresser. Strike call, 3-1. Johansson gets the call from Gibson. Swing down the middle, up and high in the center right field. Nobody calling for it. Both players colliding into one another. And that'll give Dresser a stand-up single. I'm not thinking about this. There's probably no such thing as a stand-up signal. Nonetheless, Dresser able to get on base due to the error. And the English center and right fielder colliding into each other. Strike call there for Johansson. Rumboli up to bat yet again. Second at bat of the game from Rumboli, a strikeout in her first. And takes a hard cut there at the high stuff from Johansson. So way out of bounds. English able to, or rather Everett able to drop one more run in. So 2 runs earned by Comerfield in this game. And takes home from third on the error after the at-bat from Dresser. So no outs. High fly ball, deep left center. That one is out of the park. Everett able to drop in a home run. And Romboli goes from strikeout to home run. Hits the top of the fence. What do you call this yellow thing? This, I don't know, French drain stuff. And just gets out of play. And she got a screamer there. So she'll get the RBI. And Dresser crosses home plate for the second time today. Ridlon, the next player up for the Crimson Tide, a walk in her first at bat, was able to go on a steal second. High fly ball into shallow left field. And Lynn English's very own number 1 able to knock that one down for the first out of the inning. Good heads-up play by Furlong. And Ridlon goes out with a fly out. Silva, the next batter up, a stand-up triple in her last at-bat. 2 RBIs on the drive. Strike call after the first pitch from Johansson to Silva in her second at-bat. Johansson gets the call from Gibson. Up high. 1-1 count. Strike call. Catches are looking. So 1-2 count here for Silva. Silva gets a piece of that one. Foul ball. 8-5. 1-2 count. Takes a shot at that one. Gets it shallow. Second baseman for Lynn English comes up to make the play. Throw it over to first for the second out of the inning. So Silva goes down with a ground out. And Velo doing what she's got to do to come up and make the play. Rivera, the next batter up for the Crimson Tide, a strikeout in her first at bat. Last time we saw that from Romboli, she knocked one out of the park. Johansson lines it up, gets a piece of that one, fouled off along the third baseline. And Jacob, the first good move is always to zoom out before you pan. And work in to get a little tighter for these guys. So low one in the dirt, called ball. Catches a piece of that one, shallow center field. English has to come up to keep Rivera at play, and Rivera getting on base for the first time today. Morin up next. Playing in the short second base position. Wild pitch. Going to give the go-ahead for Rivera to steal second. So 2 outs here for the Crimson Tide. 3 runs scored here in the top of the second. And a throwdown attempt to try to catch Rivera still in third results in a tie. And if you're a fan of backyard rules, well, you know that goes to the runner. Swing and a miss after delivery from Johansson. A 2-1 count for Morin. Johansson with the delivery low and in the dirt. And Gibson quick to retrieve it. And it'll be enough to hold Rivera up at third. Just gets under it. And in play, almost an opportunity to get the catch out. So what should have been a fly out, just out of reach for Velo. And Rivera scores 9-5 here in the top of the second. Morin will get her first RBI of the game. And Salvi up next. Wild pitch. Gonna give the go-ahead for Morin to take second. Gets a piece of that one fouled away. So Morin to head back to second. Salvi gets another piece of that one, fouled up off the backstop. Low and in the dirt, called ball. Pitch from Johansson, catches a piece of it. Velo scoops it up and throws it to first for the third out in the inning. So Salvi will go down with a ground out after getting a double in her first at-bat. So as we head into the bottom of the second inning, Everett 9, English 5. We'll be back after this break. 9-5, Everett with a four-run lead over the Lynn English Bulldogs. Pimentel, the batter up for the Lynn English Bulldogs. And showing bunt, able to get there. Can they get the throw out at first? And they do. A good heads-up play by Asario Bonilla to make the play, get the first out. Valou, the second baseman, up next. And Jacob, let's just tilt down a little bit. We want to see second base in our frame. All right, and we want to get a little tighter. That way people don't look like ants. So tighten it up, tilt down a bit. And that's usually how we want to start each at-bat, buddy. That looks good. Below, first bat of the day. Caught swinging after the pitch from Cutler. The pitch from Cutler. Called ball. So I may have missed something here. Cutler. Throwing right now to Furlong. So Velo not up to bat right now. Furlong's up to bat. So 2-2 count. So Furlong second at bat. So strike 3 for Furlong. Going to be the second out here at the bottom of the second.
Down here. The thing right here is rebooting. It's cleared. And,
Means that the battery's dead on that.
alright.
High, fair ball. I'm not going to be able to get the throw out. Johansson gets on base with the single. And I'm just trying to do a little bit of backtracking to figure out where it was. I believe Pimentel went down with a ground out as well as Velo. And Burnable next up. An attempt at a steal results in a stolen base. And the base runner, Johansson, making the most out of the situation after getting on base. And we always get the carbon copy of the. So Johansson wearing 14 today, not 4. Burnable getting the call from coach at third base. Low and in the dirt. Ball 4. And that'll give her the go-ahead to take first. So Burnable getting a fly out in her first at bat and a walk in her second. Next up to the plate is going to be Gibson. That's who we got in the lineup. Had a pinch runner for Gibson. After the walk. And that was Garcia. Garcia went on to steal second, third, and home. So a great coaching decision. Pitch right where she wants it. Strike called. But Johansson gonna go on to take third. So Johansson steals second and third after the single. Burnable staying at first after the walk. Swing and a miss, and there goes Burnable for it. Kala lines it up. High stuff, called ball.
Battery.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. And that'll be the third out of the inning. So Gibson goes down swinging. In her second at bat, English able to drop in. Any more runs? I'm running out of steam on my phone here, but I got Mikey next door to keep me up to test. The scoreboard here hasn't worked in about 2 years. So no runs scored by the Bulldogs. 9-5 is what the score will remain here as we head into the third. We'll be back after this break. Okay. First pitch from Johansson here in the top of the third. Delivered as a ball. So Johansson is in number 4. Who was the base runner? I think I got Johansson here, but number 14 was in. I don't have a substitute wearing 14. Maybe we read the number wrong. So number 14 must have been a pinch runner for Johansson. And I got Cassandra as a name. Gets a piece of that one. Can they throw it out at first? No, they won't. And Everett able to advance from first to second. So Asario Bonilla leading it off. Gets the walk. And Miranda was the player in number 14. So 2 on, no outs for the Crimson Tide. And going on to take second with ease. It's going to be number 1 out of Everett, and that's Comerfield. High fly ball right underneath the first baseman out of Everett. Able to gobble that one for the first out of the inning. Martinez making the play. 2 base runners still on. So a fly out for Dresser in her third at-bat. First time not getting on base today. Rumboli, the next player up. Playing in the center field position. Rumboli awaits the pitch from Johansson. Gets a piece of that one. Up high, fly ball. Johansson gobbles that one up for the second out of the third. And the English infield now doing what they can to stem any more potential runs. Everett with 5 in the first and 4 in the second. Ridlon, the next batter up. Ridlon with a walk in her first at bat, a fly out in her second. 2 outs here, and 2 on for the Crimson Tide. The pitch from Johansson, a little low and in the dirt. Both base runners thinking about advancing. But Gibson quick to get there. Enough to stem them, keep them at their respective bags. Johansson with the delivery, just a bit outside, ball 4. And now the Bulldogs looking at loaded bases here. So Ridlon with a walk and her second at bat, and Silva heading up to the plate with 3 on and 2 outs. And maybe a pinch batter, and number 3 is the number we got. First pitch from Johansson called strike. And Breen Jasmine in after the injury to the third baseman out of Everett. So Breen Jasmine starting off in the left field position. Pitch from Johansson up high. Second baseman out of English trying to make the play. 2 runners are going to score. And that's going to give enough for Ridlon to advance from first to second and then third. So both Osario Bonilla are going to score and Comerfield. So 2 runs earned so far here in the third. High fly ball into center field. That one's going to stay fair. Both base runners going to advance and score a stand-up double. For number 12 out of Everett, Rivera knocks in 2 RBIs, gets herself a stand-up double. And both Ridlon and Jasmine will go on to score. Johansson with the delivery low and in the dirt. So 13 of 5. Everett putting the works on English. 2 outs, 1 base runner at third. That's Rivera. Hits that one on the ground into center field. English center fielder can't get there in time. Gonna give the go-ahead run to Rivera. And sliding in to third safe is gonna be Everett. And some solid base running coming from Morin. Ends up with a triple. And an RBI. So 2 outs for the Crimson Tide. Johansson's pitch delivered. And catches Everett's very own number 5. Swinging on that one, Salvi. Gets a piece of that one, hits it directly to the shortstop out of Lynn English. For the line drive out. And Salvi going to go down swinging, but not to a strikeout. So as we head in to the bottom of the third, Everett putting the works on GBL rival Lynn English. 14 of 5 as we head in to the bottom of the inning. We'll be back after this break. Next up to bat for the Bulldogs, Sereno. Sereno's second at bat of the game. 14 to 5 is the total in this one as we're in the bottom of the third. The pitch from Cutler. Sereno waits the pitch, ball. Outside, call ball 4. So Sereno going to take the base with a walk. Martinez, the next player up for the Bulldogs. playing in the first base position. A single in her first at bat. Able to steal second, third, and home. Gets a piece of that one. First baseman from Everett able to gobble that one up and make the tag herself. So ground out for Martinez in her second at bat. But enough to get Serino on a second. Reyes the next batter up. Good heads-up play by Ridlon out of Everett. Get in front and stop it. First pitch to Reyes called strike. Reyes with a walk in her first at-bat. Another one going on a heist, stealing second, third, and home. And both of these teams trying to find their groove. Everett, again, coming to this one with a 1-1 record. English still looking for their first W. Still pretty early in the 2026 season to see what we end up with. So Serino sitting pretty at second after the walk and the ground out for Martinez. Reyes doing what she can to bat her in. The pitch from Cutler. Ball 4. And Reyes is going to take the walk. Her second of the day. Pimentel, the next batter up for the Bulldogs. And check that. Looks like Garcia will be pinching for Pimentel. So first at bat of the day for Garcia. Gets a piece of that one. Right back to Cutler. Can't field it well. All base runners are going to advance and be safe. So now loaded bases for the Bulldogs. As the next batter makes her way to the plate. And we'll try to get you a number on that one soon. Looks like we got Murado up next. Murado wearing the number 14 that we thought was Johansson. Swing and a miss. So a bit of a change in the lineup. An injury at third base. Potential opportunity to snag that one. Trying for the throw out at home, and they're able to get the out. So being thrown out at home. Wearing number 17 for the Bulldogs, Serino. Yeah, not much she can do about that one. Murado able to get on base. Cutler with the delivery. Long, high fly ball. That one's going to stay in the infield. And the final out of the inning is going to wrap this one up. So at the end of 3, English not able to get any more. 14-5 as we head into the top of the 4th. We'll be back after break. First pitch from Johansson. Delivered strike. And Romboli up to bat. For the Crimson Tide. I believe. Check that, number 7, not number 2. So Asario Bonilla, third at bat of the game. 2 walks. Oh, sorry, 4th at bat of the game. High fly ball into center field. English able to get under that one for the first out of the inning. And a great heads-up play by Lynn English's number 14, Murado, to make the play. So Murado earning the first out. And Osario Bonilla going down with a flyout. So her fourth at-bat, getting up to bat twice in the first inning. A ground out in her second, and a walk in her third, a fly out in her fourth. Comerfield, the next batter up for the Everett Crimson Tide. Johansson with the delivery, a little low and in the dirt. Comerfield awaits the call. A pitch. A little high, called ball. So I believe 2-1. Sorry, 3-1. So fourth ball, going to give the go-ahead for Comerfield to take the waltz on down to first. One out here, one on for the Crimson Tide as Dresser steps up to the plate next. Strike call. 0-1 count for Dresser. Johansson with the delivery. Short, choppy ground ball over to third base. Fielded well. Gets the force out at first. And a great job by the third baseman, Lynn English, to make the call. And there's a substitution over there, I'm pretty sure. So we get your name on that. And opportunity to steal goes to Everett. And I believe it's Garcia at third now. Ponytails always throw us off here. I'm seeing a number 10. Garcia with the big play from third. Check that. Garcia playing in the shortstop position. And Barnable playing on the third base position. So good heads-up play by Barnable to make that happen. Strike three, third out of the inning. So as we head in to the bottom of the third, Classical able to hold Everett to a little less than what we've been seeing throughout this game, which is no runs here. 14-5 is the remainder of the score here as we head in to the bottom of the inning. We'll be back after this break. Johansson up to bat. The pitch from Cutler, not really where Johansson was hoping for it, so she'll wait for the good stuff. A lot of cheeriness coming from the English dugout. Maybe a big run underway. Cutler's pitch ruled a strike. Right where she wants it. The pitch, swinging at the high stuff, strike. Johansson awaits the delivery from Cutler. Ball 4. Johansson will take first with ease. And her first walk of the game. Double in her first at-bat. Single in the next. Burnable up next to bat for the Bulldogs, according to the lineup we got. But again, some injuries have switched that up. So luckily, I've got my trusty binoculars. Burnable is the batter. Her third at-bat of the day. Fly out in her first, a walk in her second. Pitch from Cutler. A little high for the Blues' liking, rule ball. Cutler gets the call from Masario Bonilla. Strike ruled there, and I think Burnable was hoping for a ball. Gets a piece of that one along the third baseline. That one rolls out of bounds. Luckily for Mr. Kesselman, who missed that one. First move, Mr. Kesselman, we're always going to want to zoom out. Keep your hand on that tripod arm, and you'll be ensured not to miss much. Full count here after the foul ball. Burnable awaits the delivery from Cutler. Takes a shot at that one. Gets it into shallow right field. Johansson round second, heading into third. They're going to try to catch her there. That's going to give Burnable the go-ahead for second. So she'll get a stand-up double. Johansson advances to third as Gibson is the next on our lineup. So no outs, English trying to dig their way back into this one. High fly ball has the potential of being caught and is for the first out of the inning. So Gibson goes down with a fly out in her third at bat. Sereno, the next batter up on the lineup for Lynn English. The delivery from Cutler. Sereno gets a piece of that one. Hit along the third base line and rolling foul just as it approached the Everett third baseman. So Sereno will step back into the box. The delivery from Cutler gets a good piece of that one into left field. Dropped. And that one's going to send Johansson home. So Johansson getting onto the board for the second time today. Burnable will advance to third. And Sereno will get her first single of the day. And her first RBI of the day. Martinez up next. Trying for the throwdown at third. Burnable too quick to get back. So remember, that zoom out is going to be the best way to make sure we capture anything. High ball delivered. It's going to give Sereno the go-ahead to take second. Martinez steps back into the batter's box and awaits the delivery from Cutler. Gets a piece of that one just inside. And that'll keep her alive. High fly ball into center left field. Ruled foul. So 1 run scored so far here for the Bulldogs. 14-6 in favor of Everett. Show and bunt, pulls back, trying to draw in the third and first baseman. Strike 3 results in a strikeout from Martinez, her first of the day. Reyes, the next one to step up to the plate. 2 outs for the Bulldogs. 1 run scored so far here in the 4th. And 2 on, 1 at second, 1 at third. Reyes awaits the pitch from Cutler. A little outside. So 2 walks on the night so far for Reyes. Looking for our first hit of the day. 2-1 count here. 3-1. Reyes awaits the pitch from Cutler. High stuff there. Ball 4. And she'll get on base for the 3rd time tonight, but will still stay at no hits. Bases loaded. 2 outs. As Pimentel steps up to the plate. So, I'm sorry, Garcia will step up to the plate. So Garcia gets a piece of that one. Not able to get it anywhere. Second baseman kind of freezes up, looking for the force out. And it'll be enough to drive in 1 more run, so Bernabel scores. And Garcia getting on base with a single and an RBI. Swing and a miss. Velo up next for the Bulldogs. And I think this is actually Murado. So Murado up to bat. We're in number 14. And getting a correction on the name, the spelling here, Miranda. Up to bat right now. Pitch from Cutler. Miranda able to get a piece of it. 1-1 on the day so far for Miranda. Getting a single in the bottom of the 3rd. Waiting patiently for the delivery from Cutler. High and away, trying for the throwdown at first. And Garcia able to get back. Ball 4, she'll take her base, and that'll force a run home. So the Bulldogs able to draw down another run. So 2 outs here. 14-8. Everett over English. English digging their way back inside of this one. Sario Bonilla makes the call. Single is going to drive in 1 run. And a great heads-up play by Furlong to get the hit and draw in 1 more run for the Bulldogs. So 14-9, 2 outs, bases loaded. Foul ball. Just out of reach, out of the catcher. Sorry, for the catcher out of Everett. Johansson up to bat again this inning. The pitch. Strike call against Johansson. Let's mind that pan up there. Johansson awaits the pitch from Cutler. Cutler with the delivery a little too low for Johansson's liking. And everybody getting onto the board today in this one. 3rd game for both teams. Pitch high and away. And Mr. Kesselman, I think we got to tighten up our pan lock there. So that's your tilt lock. That's the pan lock. That's why you're getting the bounce in your shot. And remember, instead of panning while we're zoomed in, we're going to zoom out and then pan. Johansson gets a piece of that one, able to sneak it past the shortstop. 1 run will score, and 2. Now Everett only within 3 of the Crimson Tide after the single from Johansson. So 14-11. Strike call. And a great pitch by Cutler to drop one in against Burnable. So 2 outs, 2 on for the Bulldogs. Strike 2. Burnable steps back into the box, awaits the pitch from Cutler. Swing and a miss, strike 3 for the final out of the inning. So English able to draw in a couple more runs to get back in within 3 runs of the Crimson Tide. 14-11 as we head into the top of the 5th. We'll be back after this break. And we're back, top of the 5th. Everett leading the Dogs 14-11. First strike from Johansson here in the inning. So Ridlon, the batter, up. And usually I'm telling you how many at-bats they've got for the game, but we'll just say first of the inning. Both of these teams showing a lot of promise defensively as the game progresses on. But quick jump offensively for both teams has put us into a spot. Johansson finding her groove too. The strikeout on the day. 3 so far for Johansson. Silva, the next batter up for the Crimson Tide. Maybe we have a change in the lineup. And we do. So, bring Jasmine, the next batter up. We're in number 3, playing in a left field position. Gets a piece of that one high and in the infield. Below, the second baseman there almost had the out and the catch. But the error is going to result in a single for Jasmine. So it looks like Reyes is now in the second base position. Sorry about that, Velo. Get the force out at first. So Everett's number 12 will go down with a ground out. That's Rivera. And Moran up next. Swing and a miss after the delivery from Johansson. Johansson gets the call, likes it, throws it down on the dirt. It's going to give an opportunity for Everett's Jasmine to take on and steal third. So Moran waits the delivery, takes a piece of that one. It's going to go foul. That'll force the base runner back. And send Moran back to the plate. Triple in her last at-bat. Moran puts one down on the ground, able to get past the English shortstop. That'll be enough to drive in one more run for the Everett Crimson Tide. Scoring on the play is going to be number 3, Jasmine. Hit to the second baseman out of Lynn English for out number 3. But not before Everett's able to drive in one more run. So, good heads-up play by the English infield to be able to wrap that one up. And as we head into the bottom of the inning, we'll get you a score real quick. 15-14 after one run scored in the 5th by Everett. So we'll be back with the bottom of the inning. It's all right, just keep it down. All right, we're back. Swing and a miss after the delivery from Cutler. Batter up is Gibson. Gibson leadoff batter here in the bottom of the 5th for the Bulldogs. Cutler still throwing strong. Looks like we're having a light issue here. They're trying to turn on the lights. Some of them are going on. Now we got one on. That ball hit foul off of the Everett dugout. The pitch, high and away. Another ball. So Gibson awaits the delivery from Cutler. Swing and a miss, drop third strike. And they get the out at first with ease. So Gibson going down with a strikeout. Next up to bat for the Bulldogs is going to be number 17, Sereno. Sereno looking at a strike on the first pitch from Cutler here in the bottom of the 5th. Swing and a miss at the high stuff. 0-2 count. So 3 strikeouts on the day for Cutler so far. Sorry, 4. Let's do a quick count. So 4 on the day for Cutler. Sereno awaits the pitch, takes a swing at that one. High fly ball right in the shallow left field. Able to get on base with that one. And Sereno getting on base yet again, a single in her last at bat. Martinez, the next batter up for the Bulldogs. Martinez takes the first pitch, ball call. Cutler gets the call from Rosario Bonilla, likes it. Long line drive up high into center field. She's going to be able to get to first, and the base runner hesitant to move over to second. So Sereno holds up in fear that she may have to tag out. Martinez getting on to first. Certainly had the leg speed to get to second. But Sereno playing it safe, as Englishes have been able to dig themselves back into this one. A 4-run deficit, and seemingly this game, it's pretty easy to get 4 runs when you're at bat. So 2 on, no, and 1 out for the Bulldogs. High stuff from Cutler. Got to keep English from swinging at that one. And we got Reyes up to bat. Reyes has been walked all game today, showing maybe a bunt, maybe a late check swing. Nonetheless, she'll get another opportunity here. And looks like they got the lights sorted back out. So hopefully those lights attract some of the bugs that we've been complaining about. Solid line drive. Get the force out at second. The base hit will advance Sereno to third. Martinez will be caught at second on the advance. And Reyes is going to get her first hit of the game. And what a tough go at it for Martinez. Had an opportunity for a double and got held up at first. Steal coming here from Reyes. And Rosario Bonilla says, you know what, let's just try to get this batter out. So 2 outs here for the Bulldogs. 2 on, 1 at second and 1 at third. Delivery from Cutler. Still 15-11. And Garcia hoping to throw one out of the park, but we'll take the walk gratefully so. And she'll get the first walk of the game for her. And bases are loaded, 2 outs. As number 14 from the Lynn English dugout will come up to bat. And I believe 14 is Miranda. Probably locked this kid down. And all over the lineup and field, so. And then I got her name wrong about 11 times, so I apologize for that. If you're taking TV media, I'll talk to Mr. Delgado about throwing you a free homework assignment. I don't know if we do homework assignments in TV too. Tough to get the equipment out to the kids. Miranda looking at a 2-0 count. 2-1. Pitch from Cutler. Miranda gets a piece of that one. High fly ball. It's going to stay in the infield. Everett able to gobble that one up for the final out of the inning. And able to keep English at bay, even with bases loaded. So a scoreless inning from English is going to keep this score 15-11 as we head into the 6th. We'll be back after this break. All right. Top of the inning. 15-11 as we head into the 6th. Asario Bonilla up to bat. And fit that bat of the day for Asario Bonilla. Swing and a miss. Johansson starting to find the groove. Inside, ball call. And the catcher awaits the delivery from Johansson. Ball call. Gives her the opportunity to take first with ease. So a walk for the first batter up. Comerfield up next. Showing bunt, gets the force out at first. And Asario Bonilla doesn't look back after the single. Says, I know you're getting Comerfield out at first. But I'm gonna take second and third on this one. Dresser, the next batter up for the Crimson Tide. The pitch from Johansson, ground ball along the third baseline. They're going to get the force out at first, but not before Everett can drive in another run. Bonilla scores again. 3 runs on the day for Bonilla. And the light guys are messing around with us over here. I think that they might be in a different city, trying to get the lights situated over here. Seems as though everybody's okay with it. So Dresser awaits the pitch from Johansson, called ball. Johansson gets the call from Gibson. Says why not, throws it on down. A little low. Line drive up and over the circle. And that's Ramboli, excuse me. Dresser went down with an out. So got a ground out, forced that first for Dresser. Ramboli gets on base with a single. So 2 outs for the Crimson Tide, 1 on base. High ball, tough for Gibson to handle. And that'll give Ramboli the go-ahead to steal second. Ridlon, the batter up for the Crimson Tide now. The delivery from Johansson in the dirt. Rule the ball. Let's see if we can get a wider shot, just in case we see a steal coming from second to third. Low in the dirt, there goes the steal. And she'll get there with ease. Ramboli going on a bit of a heist, taking second and third. 2 outs for the Crimson Tide. And we're back to one of the lights. Low and in the dirt, ball 4. And Ridlon will take the base with a walk, as Silva is the next up to bat for the Crimson Tide. And Everett, the coaching staff, going to come in, chalk it up with Johansson, and talk about how we're going to approach the next batter. Certainly within striking distance. Next up to bat for the Crimson Tide is going to be Silva. And looks like we'll have somebody stepping into the lineup. Jasmine up to bat next. So Breen Jasmine. Handful of singles so far for Breen Jasmine. 1 run scored. Pitch from Johansson up high. And looking for the throwdown. Not able to get it there. But luckily the base runner turned their back to second base and didn't see that the pickoff attempt from Gibson went high and into shallow center field. So Silva catches a strike there. Pickoff attempt at second, no good. So Ridlon goes on to take second with ease. Silva still in the batter's box for the Bulldogs. Up high and trying for the throwdown at third. Good job by the shortstop to back it up. And I mean, I didn't play a lot of baseball. I think I was the best 12-year-old in the 10-year-old league. But if I was out there today and these lights were going on and off, that would be quite the distraction. Long line drive into center field. That's going to be enough to bring home Ridlon. And it's going to earn Silva a stand-up double as well as an RBI. So another RBI for Silva. Rivera up next. Sorry, that was Jasmine. So let's make that adjustment here. So Jasmine gets the RBI. Another one for her. Another shot into left field. Jasmine thinking about rounding third for an attempt at home, but not going to get there. And they're pulling out all the stops. A little darker. Rivera getting on to first with the base hit. Gonna take second as the infield's asleep. And the lights are back on. Holy moly. This is one for the ages. So Johansson's delivery a little low. Ball call. 18-11. Two outs, 2 on, 1 at second, 1 at third. 3-0 count here. The pitch, long line drive up high in the left field. That one's going to fall foul. And that'll send the base runners back, as well as the batter. Pitch from Johansson up high. 4th ball called, and she'll take the base. And bases are loaded for the Crimson Tide. And a walk served up to Morin. Second of the day for Morin. As Salvi is the next batter up in our lineup. Try to get you a solid number on that. And we're looking at number 5, and that's Salvi, playing on the DP position today. Single on her first at bat, a handful of groundouts. 2 outs, bases loaded for Salvi. 18-11 in favor of the Everett Crimson Tide. Up high, ball call. Johansson gets the call from Gibson, throws down, ball call again. Johansson with the delivery, up high, ball 4, and that'll force a runner in. So another walk delivered to Salvi. That increases the lead 19-11 for the Crimson Tide. Salvi will walk, Morin will advance, Rivera advances, and Silva ends up with another run. So 19-11, 2 outs, bases are loaded. As Asario Bonilla is up, strike call. Her second at bat of the inning. Handful of RBIs for the catcher out of Everett. Johansson delivers, swing and a miss. And she'll take a step out of the batter's box just to cool her tension. The pitch from Johansson gets a piece of that one, fouled up off the backstop. Johansson set to deliver low and in the dirt. Ball call there. Gets a piece of that one. Gonna hit it right over the shortstop's head. One base runner will advance home, and others rounding third on the way in. An opportunity at the throwout called safe. And it got there in time for Gibson. 2 more runs score for the Crimson Tide. 21-11. After the base hit that turns into 2 RBIs. And those stats going to go credited to Asario Bonilla. Her second hit of the inning. And 2 more RBIs, at least 5 on the day. It's been tough to track the numbers. This game, wouldn't say has progressed quickly. However, it's been pretty fast-paced in the beginning of this one. Both teams getting off to a 5 runs in the first inning. Everett boasted a 10-run lead here. And we're only in the top of the 6th. Gets a piece of that one up high into center field. That one's going to fall foul. And that'll send Comerfield back to the plate. Comerfield up at bat for the second time this inning, a ground out in her first at bat of the 6th. The pitch from Johansson just a bit inside. 2 outs, 2 on, 1 at first and 1 at second. Comerfield with a handful of RBIs so far in this one. Low and in the dirt. Comerfield gets low on that one. Ball 4 called. She'll take the base. And bases loaded again with 2 outs for the Crimson Tide. Comerfield walks in her second at bat of the inning. Dresser going to get a shot at redemption after a ground out. High pitch from Johansson results in the first ball call of the at bat. Johansson with the delivery, 1-1 count. Dresser steps back into the batter's box. Wasted delivery from Johansson. Takes a swing at that one. High fly ball. It's going to stay right on home plate and fall foul. Gibson probably losing it in the light. And a sloppy return. Catches the infield jumping. Everybody there to back up. Keep all base runners at bay. Swing and a shot right past the third baseman out of English. One's going to score. 22-11. So English going to get one more shot at this one in the bottom of the inning. Right now facing an 11-run deficit. Generally, if it's a 10-run deficit or more by the 5th inning, that's the game. But English, the home team, they're going to get a chance to go up. One more run scores on the base hit. 2 more runs score on the base hit. 24-11. Everett. So good job on the base hit by Everett's number 3. I'm sorry, number 2, Ramboli again. Ramboli going on to take second. Foul ball. Going to send her on back. So 2 more RBIs for Ramboli. Second at bat of the inning for Ramboli. Going to go on a steal second again here in this inning. 2 outs. And 2 on for the Crimson Tide. 1 at second, 1 at third. As Ridlon is up to bat. Gets a piece of that one and ruled foul. Johansson looking for a way out of this inning. Ridlon hoping to get back on base to pad the stats. Tough start to the season for English. Certainly a rebuilding year. High fly ball. That one's going to reach just to the end of the infield for the 3rd out. And so as we head into the bottom of the 6th, English going to get a shot at trying to bring this one back. 24-11, Everett over English. We'll be back after this break. Dude, I usually have a power bank with me. But again, there was like a lot of stuff happening at the end of the day. I just kind of got sidetracked here. So yeah, it's still Cutler out there. All right, you ready? Welcome back. Bottom of the 6th. High fly ball results in the first out. And Furlong going to go down with a fly out on her first at bat of the 6th. 24-11 here in this one. Gets a piece of that right to the shortstop for the first out at first. Kesselman, remember to zoom out when we got a pan. It's all right. We got all the notes. This is how the magic happens. And these are the games where we kind of get better at this stuff, believe it or not. A lot of action on the field. Gives us an opportunity to know what to expect. First softball game of his career for Mr. Kesselman, so trying to coach him up. Okay, that's fine. I'm not going to talk about everything that happens up there, but put that in your pocket and don't lose it. Short, choppy ground ball along the third baseline. 2 outs so far for the Bulldogs. Bulldogs looking at a deficit. It's going to be tough to dig themselves out of here. And this could be potentially the last batter of the inning. Bernabelt, the batter up for the Bulldogs. Strike call after the pitch from Cutler. So 2 strikes, no balls. High stuff there. Keeps Bernabelt from swinging. So a 1-2 count. Cutler hoping to put an end to it here. The pitch. Drop third strike. Can they get the force out at first? They can't. So Bernabelt going to advance to first after the drop third strike. And I believe we've got Garcia up next. Oh, we got a pinch hitter. Mateo working her way up to the plate for the first time today. Mateo takes a cut. I think she did. Strike call. Cutler lines it up. 0-2 count. Takes a shot at that one. Short, choppy ground ball back to Cutler. Cutler able to throw it to first. And that should be the conclusion of the game. 10-run deficit when we head into the 5th. Right now, we're wrapping up the 6th inning. So Everett going to walk away with a victory here, 24-11. What can we say about this one? Well, it's the beginning of a fresh start for the Bulldogs. And they're certainly in a rebuilding year. Everett was playing down today, pitcher out. A lot of offensive prowess out there. And the infield certainly showing some room for improvement, but also showing that improvement as the game progressed. So it got a little bit more competitive with, a couple of mistakes here and there. Nonetheless, English going to fall to a record of 0-3. And Everett going to push past that 1-1 record. They'll earn their 2nd win of the season this year here at the Breed Middle School softball field. I want to say thanks to our crew. Thank you to Kesselman and Retro for coming out and bringing you this one. It's been a joy and a pleasure. Thank you from Lynn Educational Television. I'm Sean Donahue, wishing you all the best.